All right, so let's dive into this Ravens and Cowboys game from last night. So the Ravens beat the Dallas Cowboys last night by the score of 34 to 17. With the win, the Ravens moved to 7 and 5 on the season, and the Cowboys dropped to 3 and 9 from the loss. And just looking back at this game really reminded me of what the Ravens were able to do so well last year. They were able to use Lamar Jackson's athleticism to their advantage, and when they could run the ball consistently against any defense like this, they were able to beat anybody. And this game is what I think the Ravens offense has been missing the entire year. Just some consistency on the offensive side of the ball. Overall, the Ravens ran for almost 300 yards rushing last night. I don't care what defense you're going up against. You're going to beat that team if you're running for almost 300 yards. And there's no way that the other team is probably going to win if they're giving up 300 yards rushing. It's just not going to happen. Now, granted, Lamar Jackson only threw for 107 yards, but honestly, they didn't even need to really do that much in the passing game because they were so effective on the ground. Gus Edwards had over 100 yards rushing on only 7 carries. Lamar Jackson almost had 100 yards rushing on 13 carries. And J.K. Dobbins had almost 75 yards on 11 carries. Like, if you're getting that type of production from your backs and your quarterback, good luck trying to stop that if you're the opposing defense. And overall, the Ravens needed this game just because they have been reeling the last couple weeks. Lamar Jackson has definitely voiced his concern over the offense not really generating consistent plays or consistent rhythm to win games for the most part for the last month. But this is a game that they really needed to win. It does get them back on track to at least hold an AFC wild card spot. So definitely a big win for the Ravens here. To kind of focus on the Cowboys here, it's just been more of the same with the Cowboys this year. They've just been super inconsistent. They've been a frustrating team to watch the entire year ever since Dak got hurt. And the defense has been the biggest letdown by far, giving up 34 points on the road. It's just been more of the same. The Dallas Cowboys are a terrible team, and despite the fact that they're just a bad team, they're technically still in the race for the NFC East, which just goes to show how bad that division is. And I don't really expect anything special from the Cowboys moving forward just because their defense is that bad, and Andy Dalton really doesn't do anything to thrill me. He didn't play bad last night. He just didn't do anything to really excite me. He was able to connect with Michael Gallup, Amari Cooper, and CeeDee Lamb a few times, but nothing really consistent to get them back into the game when the Ravens really started to stick it to them in the second half. And with the Cowboys, they had their chances. CeeDee Lamb had a great opportunity to haul in that Hail Mary pass right before halftime, but it went right through his hands. And then an area I don't really focus on too much is special teams. Greg Zuerlein missed 3 field goals last night. If you pair those missed field goals and CeeDee Lamb potentially bringing in that Hail Mary pass before halftime, that's potentially 16 points that they left out on the field. I mean, the score difference was 17 points. 16 points on the board, that's 34 to 33. And if the Cowboys went for 2, they're essentially tied with the Ravens at that point. So they definitely left some points out on the field. But that's the Cowboys. I mean, what else do you expect? It's just the Cowboys have been that bad of a team. And when they need to make the plays to at least keep themselves in the game or at least have a fighting chance to win it, they just can't capitalize on it. And that's the reason why they're 3 and 9 and not really going anywhere, despite the fact they're in a terrible division like the NFC East. But overall, I thought the Ravens played great. They needed the win to stay pat in the AFC wild card race at this point. And at this point moving forward, the Ravens, I don't think they're going to have a shot to win the AFC North. The Steelers pretty much have that wrapped up. But at this point, it does look like the Ravens are back on track to get back in the AFC playoff picture.